Hello, we are Team Glutamate. My name is Gina Kim, and this is my colleague George Hung, and we will be presenting on our project Leading Causes of Death Among Korean Americans between 2005 and 2020. To begin, as of 2021, there are 2.6 million Koreans residing in the US, making Korean Americans the fifth largest Asian subgroup in the US today. And that number is only rising because 16,000 Koreans immigrated and became naturalized citizens in 2019 alone. And as can be seen on the map, the Korean population density, depicted by shade of blue, is one of the darkest shaded countries, comparable to that of South Korea itself. Yet while the Korean American population increases, there remains a lack of medical research specific to Korean American healthcare, leading to our research objective to characterize the leading causes of death of Korean Americans in the US and Koreans in Korea by nativity and sex. For Korean Americans and non-Hispanic whites in the US, we obtained our data from the National Vital Statistics System Mortality Database and the corresponding International Classification of Disease Codes. For the mortality data of Koreans in Korea, we contacted the Korean Statistical Information Service for an analogous data set and the corresponding Korean classification of disease codes. Harmonizing the ICD and KCD codes, we then performed a direct age standardization with the 2000 US Census population to calculate the age-adjusted mortality rate for each of the populations.
Our first two figures depict the leading causes of death by their proportions ranked, as seen in the bump chart on the left and the corresponding proportions/percentages in the bar graph on the right. Prominent causes of death in both Korean Americans and Koreans in Korea are heart disease, malignant neoplasms, suicide, and accidents. Investigating these observations further below, we see that for Korean Americans, the age-adjusted mortality rate of foreign-borns is higher for malignant neoplasms and suicide, while the age-adjusted mortality rate of males is higher for all four causes of death. On the right side, we depict annual age-adjusted mortality rate trends for Alzheimer's disease and diabetes across a 16-year period for Korean Americans. Despite a tenfold increase in crew death count from Alzheimer's, the age-adjusted mortality rate for foreign-born Korean Americans increases only by a factor of 2. Similarly, while there is only a threefold increase in crew death count from diabetes, the age-adjusted mortality rate for native-born Korean Americans appears to actually decrease by 35%. As we continue our investigation, we hope to address the socioeconomic factors of immigration impacting causes of death, as well as the impact of clustering Korean communities using the NVSS's restricted mortality dataset containing state, county, education, and occupation variables. All in all, as healthcare professionals, it's crucial that we understand the leading causes of death of Korean Americans, as doing so can help improve population-tailored patient care, increase early detection/treatment of disease, and reduce mortality rate. Thank you for listening.